Hi everybody, how are you guys doing today? I hope that you're doing fine and I hope you had a good day. So, okay, so hi everyone, how are you all doing today? I hope that you are okay and I hope that you're ready for the lesson today. So we'll be having sentences, fragments, and run-ons under the grade 3 today. First and first, all you need to do is I'm just gonna share my screen. So what you need to do first is just to log in into the aplusstudent.com. So I hope that you can see my screen. Okay, so first and first, log in using the aplusstudent.com, and then after that, you click on the grade. You click on your name, and then you go to the grade you're working on. So, next you click on the chapter, and then the lesson that you wanna have today. Okay, so I'll just go there. So just hold on a bit. Okay, just a moment, everybody. Okay, so I'll just go back to sharing my screen. Okay, so after you log in, we'll just okay, so you all have your names here. So you just click on your name and then you go to your grade, like I have said. So so we have grade 3 and we are having sentences, fragments and run-ons. So this is it. So we have 3 lessons from the sentences, fragments and run-ons. So we'll start with the first lesson. Okay. So now the first lesson is it a complete sentence or a fragment? So let's scroll down a little bit to get the explanations. Okay. Okay, so first of all, we need to know the definition of a complete sentence. Okay, first of a sentence is a group of words that forms a complete thought. It has both a subject and a verb. Okay, so all you need to know is that a sentence is a group of words and definitely to form a complete thought. So that means it's gonna make sense. And then the next is it has a subject and it has a verb. So now the subject is the person doing the action, doing something in the sentence, and then the verb is the action going on. Okay, so my friends work along the parts. Okay, so my friends walk along the path is simply just saying that friends here stands for the subject and then work is the verb. Okay. All right. So this is the definition of a sentence. So take note that the sentence must form a complete thought. Okay. Now the next part that we will move on to is the sentence fragments. Okay. So sentence fragments is a group of words that does not express a complete thought. It is usually missing a subject or a verb. Okay, so what you need to take note of is that it is usually missing a subject or a verb. Okay, it does not express a complete thought. So unlike the complete sentence, my friends work along the park, it's a complete thought, right? And it has the subject and it has the verb. So now when it comes to the sentence fragments, maybe my friends could be missing, or the verb could be missing. Okay, so you see that if you have either the my friends or work as the verb missing, that means it's a sentence fragment and the sentence does not form a complete thought, it does not make sense. Okay, so we have some examples for the sentence fragment. So the first one over here is knows the answer. So now knows the answer. Who knows the answer? We have no idea who knows the answer. So that means the subject is missing. So usually you would say she knows the answer, but this one now just says knows the answer. So we have no idea of the person that knows the answer. So now it is a sentence fragment because it is missing a subject. Okay, so who knows the answer? She knows the answer. So usually you're supposed to say she knows the answer, right? But if you just say knows the answer, then who knows the answer? Idea, because it's not stating whoever knows the answers. Okay, so now the next one is the bright red car. The bright red car. So now, if you say the bright red car, what happened to the bright red car? Because you're just saying the bright red car. We have no idea what happened to the bright red car. So that means something is missing. So is the bright red car moving? Is it stopped? Is it what happened to it? Okay, so we have no idea what happened to the bright red car. So yeah, that means it is missing a verb. So usually you could say the bright red car stopped, okay, or the bright red car is moving backwards. It just depends, right? You can say the bright red car, something happened to it, but you need to make it a complete sentence. Okay? So now this one here shows that the verb is missing. So that means it is incorrect. Okay? It is not correct. All right, so I do hope that you guys understand the difference between a complete sentence and then a sentence fragment. Okay, let's go on and check some examples. So it says that which is a sentence fragment? That's the question here. Which of this is a sentence fragment? Now, on Kate's heavy baggage, she put salt in the soup. Okay, so Aunt Kate's heavy baggage, and then she put salt in the soup. So now, if you say she put salt in the soup, that means this is a complete sentence. But Aunt Kate's heavy baggage, okay, so that's a sentence fragment because what happened to Aunt Kate's heavy baggage? We have no idea what happened, right? Because it is missing a verb. Aunt Kate's heavy baggage is missing a verb. So we do not know what happened to her baggage. So did her baggage go missing? Did she forget the baggage at home? We have no idea. So you're just saying Aunt Kate's heavy baggage, which shows that something is actually wrong in the sentence. Okay, so that's an example of a sentence fragment. So let's move on forward to see some more examples. Okay. Uh, Announces her exciting plan. So it says, is this a complete sentence? Now it's asking for a complete sentence, and we all know that a complete sentence forms a complete thought. It has both the subject and it has also the verb, right? So now announces her exciting plan. So who is announcing the exciting plan? We do not have an idea who is announcing the plan, right? So if you just leave this, then this is not a complete sentence. This sentence does not make sense because it's just saying announces her exciting plan. And we have no idea who is announcing the plan. right? So that's it. It's not a complete sentence, rather it is a sentence fragment. It is missing a subject. Okay, so I do hope that you all understand what I'm saying so far. So now we'll just move on to the test. Okay. Okay, so which is a sentence fragment? So we have this example. Okay, we have a total of 21 questions here. So we'll just answer a few together and then I'll let you finish up your test. Okay, so Aunt Kate's heavy baggage, she put salt in the soup. So this is similar to the tutorial question that we answered. Okay, so yeah, it's similar. All right, so we're just gonna check and see. Sentence fragment. So which one is the sentence fragment? And Kate's heavy baggage, because we spoke about this earlier on and it says that it's missing a verb because we have no idea what happened to her heavy baggage, right? So that's it. All right, so now the next one is, which is a sentence fragment? Goes on a big adventure. He drew an arrow on the sign. So now goes on a big adventure. He drew an arrow on the sign. When you say goes on a big adventure, who is going on the big adventure? We have no idea who is going. It only says goes on a big adventure. But now he drew an arrow on the sign. It's showing that someone, a boy, right? A man, okay? He drew an arrow. Okay, it shows that it shows that someone drew the arrow. Okay, so it could be a man, it could be a boy, but then he drew the arrow. Okay, so we want to pick the goes on a big, as we have no idea who went on the adventure. Okay. Okay, so I clicked on the wrong one. So apparently, if you click on the wrong answer, right, you just need to scroll down and then you're gonna see an explanation. But this one doesn't have an explanation, so I'm gonna show you maybe in the next one. Okay, so a complete sentence: lives in a saltwater environment. No clouds were in the sky. Lives in a saltwater environment. No clouds were in the sky. So now, which is a complete sentence? Which one is a complete sentence? When we say lives in a saltwater environment, it is wrong because that's a sentence fragment because we do not know who is living in a saltwater environment. Is it a fish? Is it who? We have no idea. Now, no clouds were in the sky. So no clouds were in the sky is the complete sentence. Okay, so now which is a complete sentence? Let's see. You all look at it and then see, tell me which one do you think is a complete sentence. All right, so when we have friends grow in shady places, arrived at the beach. So, which of this is gonna be the complete sentence? Remember that a complete sentence is supposed to have what? It's supposed to have the subject and the verb. So, arrived at the beach. Arrived at the beach. Who arrived at the beach? We have no idea who arrived at the beach. It could be who. We don't know. It could be me, it could be you, but we have no idea who is arriving at the beach at the moment, right? But friends grow in shady places. This is the complete sentence. But let's say that we clicked on arrived at the beach. It is wrong. And this is what I want to show you. So once you get any of this wrong, all you need to do is just scroll down. Okay, and then you're gonna have the explanation again. So it's going to give you a detailed explanation of the sentence and the sentence fragments. So you just need to take notes, read it up again, then you continue up with your test. Okay? So now we need to find the sentence fragments. The cook always wear an apron, sewed the black coat. Which is a sentence fragment. The cook always wear an apron. So now if you say the cook always wear an apron, that's a complete sentence because the cook is the subject. And then what's the verb here? Wear. Okay? So that's a complete sentence. The cook always wear an apron. But sold the black coat. Who is selling the black coat? We have no idea who is selling. If it's me or if it's you, we do not have an idea of who is selling the black coat. Okay, so sold a black coat is the sentence fragment. Okay, so I do hope that you all understand the difference between a complete sentence or a fragment. Okay, so now we'll move on to the next lesson. I would make sure that I finish the test if I were you. So make sure that you finish all this tests. You have about 16 or 15 left. So you just need to finish up and then you can start up the next lesson. Okay, so we have a 15% and it shows in progress. So if I finish the test, I'm not gonna have in progress all 15%. Okay, so all you need to do is just finish this first and then you can move on to the next lesson. All right, so we'll move on to the next one, and the next one is it a complete sentence or a run-on? So all right, so now, we need to note that the complete sentence is always the same. It forms a complete thought. It has both a subject and also a verb. Okay, now the next one is a run on sentence. So, now what's the run on sentence? What is a run on sentence? Now, a run on sentence is made up of two sentences that are joined without end punctuation or with just a comma. So now this run-on is two sentences. Okay, these two sentences are supposed to be separated. Okay, they are supposed to be separated, but they are not separated. So they are joined together, and you need a punctuation to separate them. Okay, so it could be a comma or it could be a period. Okay, so now look at this. I knocked on the door, it opened. I knocked on the door, it opened. So now when you see this sentence, it's joined together. And I knocked on the door is supposed to end. You could put a comma after the door, or you could put a period and make it a new sentence. Okay, so I knocked on the door, it opened. So do you guys see? Now this is two sentences joined together because when you're telling us I knocked on the door is one sentence, it opened is another sentence, and they are not supposed to be joined together. They're supposed to be separated with a period. So when you separate it with a period, take note that the I here, the I here for the it is supposed to begin with what? A capital letter. Because when you start a sentence, the first letter of that sentence is with a capital letter. If you use a small letter to start it, then that means your sentence is incorrect. Okay? So it started raining, we ran inside. Okay, so it started raining, we ran inside. So now this is supposed to be like two different sentences, but it has a comma here and it's not correct. So it's supposed to be it started raining, then a period, we ran inside. Okay, so I want you all to take note that a run on sentence is always two sentences that are joined without end punctuation or with just a comma. Okay, so to fix up a run on sentence, separate it into two sentences, add the end punctuation after the first sentence, and capitalize the second sentence. That's what I just said. So if you want to fix up the run on sentence, what you need to do is add an end punctuation. That is, you add a period and then you capitalize the second letter. So the second letter would be the it. Okay, so the first letter I here would be what in capital letter. Okay, and then it started raining. We ran inside the we here. W is gonna be in the capital letter. Okay, all right. So we also have like a different way that you can fix up a run-on sentence. Another way that you could fix up a run-on sentence could be rewriting it as a compound sentence. Okay, so if you also want to fix up the run-on sentence, you can rewrite it as a compound sentence. And a compound sentence is two sentences joined by a comma and a conjunction, such as and, but, or, so. Okay, so if you do not want to rewrite the run-on sentence and just like put a period and then you capitalize the second sentence, all you need to do is just rewrite it as a compound sentence using a period. So you write it as a compound sentence using a conjunction and, but, or, so. Okay, we have four conjunctions that you can rewrite with, and when you're rewriting with the conjunction, you can put a comma. Okay, so look at this sentence. So now take notice, either you use a period to rewrite or you use a comma and a conjunction. Okay, so I knocked on the door, a comma, and it's open. This and here is a conjunction. Okay, so and here is a conjunction. It started raining, so we ran inside. This so here is a conjunction. So it's joined with a comma and then a conjunction. So with what I have said so far, to fix a run-on sentence that has two sentences joined together, you either use a period to separate it or you use a comma. And when you use a comma, you need to add a conjunction after the comma. Okay? So that's literally everything for it. Now we have an example up here, which is a complete sentence. So this is asking you for a complete sentence. Tina draws an arrow, it points up. So Tina draws an arrow, it points up. The curious girl looked into the damp cellar. The curious girl looked into the damp cellar. Okay, so now Tina draws an arrow, it looks up. This is actually a run on sentence. Okay, because you can see that it has a comma. Even though it has a comma, it's not correct because if you using a comma with a run on sentence, that's to fix the run on sentence, you need to add a conjunction. Okay, but the curious girl looked into the damp cellar. That is the complete sentence here. Okay, because it has both the subject, which is the girl, and then the verb, which is looked. Okay, so it has the subject, the curious girl, and then the verb is looked. Okay, so the curious girl looked into the damp cellar. All right, so that is it. And then okay, so next one is, which one is a run-on sentence? So you need to find a run-on sentence here. And then it says, the little boy popped a big bubble. He won't get lost. I will give him directions. Okay, so the little boy popped a big bubble is a complete sentence because the subject is gonna be the little boy, and what is he doing? Popping. So he popped. Okay, and then he wouldn't get lost. I will give him direction. So what's that? That is the run-on sentence. Okay, all right. So you could separate it. He won't get lost. I will give him directions. You can separate it, and then you can just take away the comma. Okay, and then you fix the sentence, and then you say he won't get lost, and I will give him directions. Okay, so that's it. I hope that you all understand. Yeah, if you have any question, you can send it on the chat also. Okay, all right. So let's move on to the test and then try a few questions of the test together. All right, so we have 27 questions and we will finish up a few together, and after that, I'll let you finish up your test all alone. Okay? Okay, so we have which is a run on sentence. We wanted a snack, we ate some cherries. We wanted a snack, we ate some cherries. So you need to find the run on sentence. And with what I have said, I told you that the run on sentence is joined by what? Run on sentence is joined by two sentences together. And these two sentences are supposed to be separated, but they are joined together. Okay? Alright, so after the show, all of the actors bow. After the shows, all of the actors bow. Okay, so what is gonna be the run-on sentence here? We wanted a snack. We ate some cherry. After the show, all the actors bowed. So, are we gonna pick this one or this one? So let's say that we pick the second one. Uh huh. So the second. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna go back. I wanted to show you all something. Okay. Okay, so we picked after the show, all of the actors bow, and you see that it is wrong. So if eventually you pick up the wrong answer, what I always say is you just need to go down. Just scroll down a little bit. When you scroll down, this is it. You have all the explanation here, and it states everything that you need to know. It states the correct answer also so that you know why you got it all wrong. Okay, so it's gonna tell you everything that you need to know before you go on with the test. Okay, so if ever you get any of them wrong, all you need to do is just go down, read the tutorials again, and then you continue. Okay, now it says that which is a run on sentence, right? Sandra spilled apple juice on the carpet. Molly draws an arrow, it points up. So Sandra spilled apple juice on the carpet is a complete sentence because who is the subject here? The subject is Sandra. And what's she doing? She spilled apple juice. So spilling, the spill there is the verb. Okay, and then Molly draws an arrow, it points up. Now, Molly draws an arrow is one sentence, it points up is another sentence. So, apparently, our run on sentence is Molly draws an arrow, it points up. Josie just moved here. She's new to our country. Now it says, is this a run on sentence? Josie just moved here. She's new to our country. So is it going to be a yes or a no? So Josie just moved here is one sentence. Josie just moved here. She is new to our country is another sentence. So yes. Okay. Is this a complete sentence? Jason's favorite season is fall. It is cool outside. Is this a complete sentence? Yes or no? Jason's favorite season is fall. It is cool outside. So what's going to be your answer here? Is it going to be yes or no? Okay. So let's say that we pick on yes. So it is wrong because this is a what? This is a run-on sentence. I want you all to note the difference, okay? I want you to note the difference because you will have questions like this and then it could be a little bit confusing. So Jason's favorite season is fall. It is cool outside. So now this is a run-on sentence because you need to take note that if you're writing the complete sentence, it has a subject and a verb, okay? So now this one has more than one subject, it has more than one verb as well. So this is a different one. This is a run on sentence, not a complete sentence. So when you get it wrong, you just scroll down and then you see the explanation. Okay? Which is a complete sentence. The curious girl looked into the damn cellar. Connor picked apples. He will give some away. So now the curious girl looked into the damn cellar was the answer we picked during the tutorial. So that's a complete sentence. And then which is a run-on sentence. The conductor took tickets from everyone on the train. It was snowing. I wore my black boots. So you need to find the run-on sentence between this one. The conductor took tickets from everyone on the train. The conductor is the subject. Okay? And then took is the verb. But then it was snowing. I wore my black boots is a run on because it was snowing is one sentence. I wore my black boots is another sentence. So we'll pick on the it was snowing, which is a run on sentence. The child chews her food carefully. I wear an apron. It keeps my dress clean. So the child chews her food carefully is a complete sentence because the child is the subject and what she's doing, she's chewing. So chews is the verb, and then I wear an apron is one sentence. It keeps my dress clean is another sentence. So this is the runner. Okay, so you all have about 20 questions left to finish this test. So I want you all to finish this test and then we will move on to the next lesson. So if ever you do not understand, just go back and read the tutorials again, okay? So yeah, it shows in progress right now because I am not done. So once I'm done, it's gonna be completed. So once you finish, you would see the completed side. So this is not started because I haven't started this lesson yet. So we're starting the lesson now. Is it a complete sentence or a run-on? Okay, so now this is all together, right? So you have the sentence, you have the sentence fragment, and then you have the run on. So you're going to have all the questions together, combined together. So all you need to do is to be able to figure out the difference, okay? Because you will have the sentence, you will have the sentence fragment, and then you'll have the run on sentence. Okay, so you're gonna have all of them joined together. You just need to be able to figure out which one is the correct answer. Okay, now we know that a sentence is a group of words that forms a complete thought. So, with our explanation so far, a sentence forms a complete thought. It has a subject and it has a verb. And an example here is my friends work along the path. My friends as the subject, work as the verb. Okay, so this is all about the sentence. A sentence forms a complete thought. It has both a subject and it has a verb. All right, so moving on to the sentence fragment. Sentence fragment, just a reminder, it is a group of words that does not express a complete thought. So, sentence fragment doesn't express a complete thought. It is missing a subject or a verb. And then knows the answer. Who knows the answer? We have no idea. So it's actually missing the subject here, and then she knows the answer would be the correct answer. The bright red car. This is a sentence fragment. It is missing a verb. So the bright red car. What happened to the bright red car? We have no idea. So it's missing a verb. And to complete it is gonna be the bright red car stopped. The bright red car stopped. Okay, so this is it, sentence fragments. Okay, so take note that the sentence forms a complete thought, sentence fragment does not form a complete thought. Okay, and then the last is the run on. Okay, run on is just what we did from the other lesson, and it is two sentences joined without an end punctuation or with just a comma. Okay, so I knocked on the door, it opened. Is there raining? We ran inside. So I want you all to take note of the run-on sentence, okay? It has two sentences together. So if ever you read the questions and then you find the one that has two sentences together, you just know that that is the run-on, okay? All right, so that's it. We're gonna check some examples and let's see. Now, which is a complete sentence? So this is asking you which is a complete sentence. Mom drank coffee and milk. I had tea. Okay. Mom drank coffee and milk. I had tea. And then the small white mouse nibbled on the piece of cheese. The small white mouse nibbled on the piece of cheese. So now which is a complete sentence? Okay? Now let's move on. When we say the small white mouse is the subject, and then what's he doing? Nibbling, right? So nibbled is the verb. So now the small white mouse is the complete sentence. Okay, so that's the correct answer here. You see, that's it. Now, which is the sentence fragment? Close the door to the baby's room. The dry dirt absorbs the rain. Close the door to the baby's room. The dry dirt absorbs the rain. So, which is the sentence fragment here? So, let's say that it was close the door. Now, when it says close the door, only close the door, then it is what? It is incomplete. But then it has to the baby's room. Okay, so this was added. Then the dry dirt absorbs the rain. This is a complete sentence because let's say that the subject is the dry dirt, and then what's it doing? Absorbing. So absorbs adds the verb. Okay, so let's move on to the test. We have 25 questions and we will just answer some together. So, which is a run on sentence? Oliver borrowed my book, he enjoyed it. A famous group will sing here on Saturday. So, which is a run on? Run on has two sentences joined together. A famous group will sing here on Saturday. A famous group, the subject. What is the verb? Sing. So, this is a complete sentence. Then, Oliver borrowed my book. He enjoyed it. This is the run on. Which is a run on sentence. Mom kisses Blanca cheeks. Blanca smiles at mom. Sewed the black coat. So we need to find the run on, right? Mom kisses Blanca's cheek. Blanca smiles at mom. Okay, so what's gonna be the run on? Two sentences joined together. Okay, so it's gonna be what the first one. All right. Okay, so which is a run on sentence? Loves to learn about reptiles like turtles and snakes. Grandpa teaches us how to play the fiddle. It isn't easy. Love to learn about reptiles like turtles and snake. Um, Grandpa teaches us to play the fiddle. It isn't easy. Okay, so now which is gonna be your answer here? Okay, so let's say that you get confused and then you don't know what to do here and then you just click on any one. You see that the one of the grandpa teaches us, it has two sentences joined together because it actually says it isn't easy. Okay? All right. So now let's move on to this next one. Run on sentence also. During the game, the children hid behind the large tree. We have over 6 600 muscles, they help our body. We have over 600 muscles, they help our bodies move. Oh, thank you guys for sending in your answer. I didn't notice that you were sending in your answers. Okay, so if you can hear me, then this answer for during the game, the children hid behind the large tree. We have over 600 muscles. They help our bodies move. Can you guys send me the answers to this one right now? Send on the charts if you can hear me so that we can do it together. If you can hear me, you can send. We have Glendy here, and then we have Emmanuel Dennis. So you guys can send me your answers. Nice to meet everyone. If you can hear me, send your answer for this question. Let's see for the fourth question. So, what's your answer? Okay, my name is Jordan. Okay, Jordan, right? Did I get it? So, Jordan, nice to meet you. Um, so you guys send me your answer for this question, page 4. Let's see, Jordan and Emmanuel, send me your answers. Let's see. So let's see your answers. My name is David. Okay, so hi, David. Okay, so we have Jordan and David. Okay, so you both send me your answers. Let's see. What's your answer for page 4? Or should I say the answer and then we move on? What's your answer? So, what's your answer for page 4? Okay, so let's just move in then. Um, the answer is run on, right? So we have the first one. Are you thinking about it, David? It's gonna be the first one. Okay. Now, okay, so Jada said one. Okay, but then we got it wrong because if you take note of this, even though we have a comma beside the game, it is wrong because the comma is word. The comma just stands to show that it's a complete sentence. But then this one, we have over 600 muscles. They help our body. So you see the first one that says we have 600 muscles. From that part that says we have 600 muscles, right? It's gonna be what the first sentence, right? And then they help our body. They help our body. So they help our body is another sentence on its own, separate. Okay? So, okay, which is a complete sentence? This will be the last one that I will do with you all, okay? So this will be the last one, and then after this, I'll let you finish up your test, okay? Josie bought a red belt and a pink scarf. Open the front door for Mr. Sidna. Okay, so what is gonna be our answer here? Is it gonna be open the front door for Mr. Sidna or Josie bought a red belt and a pink scarf? Complete sentence. Now you need to find a complete sentence, not a run-on. So Josie bought a red belt and a pink scarf or opened the front door for Mr. Sidna. Okay, so what is gonna be our answer here now? We have to look for it. So which one has a subject? Open the front door doesn't have a subject, because if it has a subject, it's gonna tell us maybe David opened the front door or Jordan opened the front door, but it doesn't. So David, no, Jordan says one. So let's click on this. Okay, perfect. So that's correct. I do hope that you all understand, and I hope that you understand. Do you have any questions? If you have any questions, please leave it on the chat box. Do you have any questions? If it's a no, you say no. If it's a yes, you say yes. Do you have any questions? Yes or no? Any questions? Do you have any question? No or yes? Because I'm gonna let you all finish up your test now. When you finish, it's gonna show completed, and then because I'm not done, that's why it shows in progress. So yeah, that's it. And when once you're done, you're gonna see the final score. You're gonna get 100. Okay, when you're done. All right, so if you all do not have any questions, I'm gonna go now and now let you all finish your test. So do have a good evening and bye everyone. Bye. No question. Okay.